Assalamualaikum and good morning. If I were asked to describe the ideal teacher, I think of this one person. So I'm sure many fit in criteria for an ideal teacher, since varies student to students. To me, the ideal teacher is someone who makes you enjoy learning, someone who's supportive, and someone who goes above the call of duty to help you out. Not everyone has the chance to find and meet this ideal teacher, but those lucky ones that do find this person are blessed. What makes an ideal teacher? An ideal teacher is a friend as well as a teacher to his students. A good teacher should also be a good friend. In the classroom, he looks grave and solemn, but he is a man of sweet and soft temper. Sometimes appear rather old, sometimes young, bright, but he is always active and alert. He is liked and respected by all who know him. When he finds any of his students lazy, he admonishes him, for he wants them all to do their work satisfactorily. He explains the lesson in much detail and does his best to answer any question possibly raised by his student. He is indeed a patient man. He continues to explain to his students the points that they do not understand until they are perfectly familiar with their lesson. He takes great trouble in correcting paper, and he is very strict in giving marks. In the classroom, he always keeps the dignity of a teacher. But outside the classroom, he becomes the student's best friend. He is an advice to the club organized by the student and also help them manage their support team. When a student is in trouble, he comforts him and tries to help the latter solve any problem he may have. A good teacher should not only mind the academic work of his student, but should also encourage them to take part in sport and games so as to keep themselves fit. He always set good example himself so as to influence his student. He keeps in touch not only with his student but with the family as well. The purpose he's doing so is to obtain the assistance of parents in educating the student. He tries to learn about the family condition of the student. Thus, both family conditions are good. He asks them to study hard in order to further their study in university, but those who have no means to carry on their study at high level, he advised to switch over to the other branch such as commercial course, business school, military career, and so forth. He does increase the efficiency of their works and guides them at the appropriate moment in the choice of a profession. The teaching profession has many responsibilities, yet is full of hardship. Personally, when I grown up, I will engage in educational activity that is I shall be a teacher myself. For education is full of life. The students you teach are like fruits, tree your plants. It is very interesting to plant seed and to see sprouts grow, leaf, put forth flower and bear fruit. In like manner, it is a great spiritual comfort to think that you are contributing an important and useful part of the future of your country. For this reason, I find the works of teacher both interesting and hopeful, and I will become ideal teacher too, so as to lend to younger generation on the path of knowledge. An ideal teacher should have many qualities. A student remembers such a teacher for long. The effect of personality on student lasts long. An ideal teacher is the one who is loved and respected by every student. He must try to win the heart of all students. He should try to establish a kind of relationship and bond between the heart and minds of himself and the student. An ideal teacher should be a scholar. He must have the knowledge of the subject and teach in the class. He should teach the subject in an interesting way. He should be able to make the student really interested in their subject. An ideal teacher should express well, should have a good voice, and must have love for teaching. The student should feel that their minds are growing under his teaching. An ideal teacher deals with the subject well. He makes his subject interesting too. An ideal teacher must be a man of culture. He should have a sense of duty and responsibility. He should be honest to himself, to his student, and to this profession. Man making is the central function of an ideal teacher. He is an engineer to the soul. In the words, an ideal teacher is a student friend, philosophy, and guide. Students do not like an unsympathetic and harsh teacher. They can judge the real words of a teacher within no time. They can make sacrifice for their teacher. If he has great, they must have confidence in them. They worship a teacher who always remains impartial and treat all his students alike. The worth of a teacher is not measured by the number of sweets he owns, but by the amount of help which he renders to his students. If there is fearless, earnest, and sincere in the charge of these duties and his sympathies toward his student, then he is bound to be an object of the devotion and admiration of students. A teacher who always finds fault with the work of his student is in any task and school. Them alone is an object of a fear from them. Such a teacher is respected by the student from outward only. He is not respected by the student from the bottom of their heart. He is only respected for a time interval when he is in front of the student, and that due is due fear and not actual respect of gratitude. In their childish game on youthful, vulgar, students do not like check. If anyone is secret and does not allow them freedom, he becomes an object of their criticism. So, the question of the selection of an ideal teacher do not rise. He is enshrined in the heart of his student. Okay, thank you.